everything kind of just seems to be dependent on this one date. Like we're not really going to know anything until after July 1st, and then can Dubas move things out? Then that means he can maybe sign Marner to whatever number he's asking. Like it just seems like we're all waiting for Monday.
Yeah. Well, no, it matters for sure, Andy. I mean, not every team is a cash-rich team by any stretch of the imagination. And in fact, there are many who aren't. And, I look at the Calgary Flames as an example. I mean, there is a team that doesn't have any financial issue, but I know philosophically ownership there doesn't like signing bonuses. And, especially when they're negotiated on another team. And then, you're trying to attract a trade partner, and, well, this player's got a big number that has to get paid July 1st. Just business. Why wouldn't you wait? Why wouldn't you wait? Unless the player is so good and such a great fit that you feel like that's the price of doing business to get that player to acquire a piece that you're highly sought after. But I look at Nikita Zaitsev, and I still think there's a market for him. I know that the term of his contract scares people. So when you add the term plus the signing bonus, unless there's a rush, and there wouldn't be a rush to acquire Nikita Zaitsev, or it would have been done by now, why wouldn't you save the money and wait until after July 1st?
Right, but the problem for the Leafs is that hamstrings them.
Yeah.
July 1st, that's what it just seems like it's hamstringing them with everything.
Maybe no one's in a hurry to acquire him, but the Leafs are in a hurry to unload. I mean, honestly, Dregs, one of the reasons Toronto had to throw in the first-round pick for Marleau was to get someone to take him off their hands before July 1st when the first part of that signing bonus was paid, right? I mean, that...
Yep. No, I understand that, but I got it. Look, I'm not saying this specific to Marner. I'm sure that the Marner camp would prefer his situation get remedied in the very near future, and I'd be really surprised. I don't see that the Maple Leafs should have any deadline aside from the obvious, but doesn't it make sense that their best offer for Mitch Marner would come on June 30th on Sunday? I mean, that makes sense to avoid, further ridiculous speculation. And tempting, frankly. But the market is volatile right now around the Toronto Maple Leafs and around one player, which isn't healthy for Kyle Dubas or the Toronto Maple Leafs, period. So I do believe that their best offer is going to come. There's no guarantee that Marner's going to accept it, and that applies to all these restricted free agent guys. You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about us having to have this conversation in late July or August.
Right.
And...
Well, we're going to have Dregs. We're going to have it.
No,
we are going to have it, because what's going to happen is some guys are going to get into contract impasses. Yeah. Not everyone's. I mean, there might be one or two offer sheets, maybe. Yeah. There might be one or two guys that get a deal done, but ultimately we're in for Nylander type stalemates in a lot of places. What's going to happen with Matthew Tkachuk in Calgary? What's going to happen with Kyle Connor and Patrick Laine in Winnipeg? All these, I think Point will get done. I think Besser will get done. From the indications I have is that Besser, they're in the neighborhood of getting something done. Point probably wants to stay in Tampa. But what's going to happen with Rantanen in Colorado? I mean, there's restricted free agents all over the league who are star young players. Sebastian Aho is the one that really bears watching for me.
Yeah.
That to me is more volatile than Marner, and
sure.
I mean,
but I will say this, because of course, right away, because the Leafs fans have gone through this with William Nylander. There's an exhaustion there. There's an annoyance. You're already jaded. So that's why I brought it up yesterday, where I felt people were probably being a little bit harder on Marner during this process because they've already gone through it last year. It's not personal. It's just been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. But at the same time, the system is set up to allow him to do this, to be able to talk to other teams.
Absolutely.
And the system is, because I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Marner, he's waiting, he's hampering the Leafs. No. The system's also in place where bonuses are due on July 1st, and that's when you can't actually unload anybody who doesn't want to, other teams don't want to pay that bonus. Like, it's just the system itself that has created this mess, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the funny thing is, Dregs, I know Leaf fans don't like us talking about the Marner situation so much. I get it. It's what everyone in the league's talking about. Not just Marner, but I mean, these restricted free agents. I mean, I talked to 4 GMs yesterday. the first thing out of their mouth, what's going to happen with these RFAs? Is someone getting an offer sheet? I think Aho gets an offer sheet. I think Marner might get a sheet. I think Marner's going to use a sheet against Toronto to try to leverage more money on them. What's going to happen with Tkachuk in Calgary? It's the talk of the NHL. Like, we're not making this stuff up. We're not pulling this out of thin air and saying,
no,
let's cause controversy. This is what everyone in the game is talking about.
Well, of course. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it because we're not that irresponsible or reckless. I mean, we do what we do.
Well, I am, but...
No, you're not, Gord. You're not. But look, I mean, can you imagine how great would it be if we had that amount of power where, we could absolutely influence a process because of what we say on Leafs Lunch or what we tweet. What we tweet is factual. It's 100% verifiable. It is pure fact. But I can understand, and I'm not so sure it's the fan base. I think it's just some social media trolls that make the majority of the noise. And the true Toronto Maple Leaf educated fan understands the salary cap issues that the Maple Leafs are faced with. And even though they don't like the current structure of the collective bargaining agreement, I think they also appreciate that Mitch Marner has earned his right to go through what he's dealing with right now.
Right.
100%.